and welcome to the latest episode of the Northern Ireland Women's Football Show with me, Jana McCabe. Today I'm delighted to be joined by Linfield's Ebony Leckey and Chelsea Millar from Ballymena. Thank you both for joining me today.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Ebony, I'll start with you. It's been a great start to the season for Linfield so far and the only team left in the All-Ireland Cup from Northern Ireland.
Yeah, no, we've had a positive start to our campaign underneath our new manager. We've played a few tough teams, both in the first game of the league and all the different cup competitions. But yeah, we've got some really good results and it's a great start.
And those signings seem to have boosted you on and it's been a good start, as you said.
Yeah, no, we've underneath the new manager, we signed lots of talented players. We've got a big squad, lots of talented players to choose from, and everyone's been utilised throughout all the games, and everyone's played their part. So it's definitely looking positive for the future for us. Yeah.
Chelsea, it's been a great start for Ballymena as well. As we do this recording, you're second on the table, but joint first in goal difference. You must be really happy with how it's gone.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'm really happy with how it's going, and I can't wait for the next few games.
And there was a tough result against Bangor recently, but you bounced back with a great result against Ballyclare.
Yeah, no, Bangor wasn't great. We were low on players and it was just not as good as what we wanted it to be. So yeah, coming back and playing against Ballyclare definitely was an improvement.
You must be happy with the resilience you did show, because it's not a very there's not very long between the games, so you have to bounce back pretty quickly.
Yeah, no, it was a really good bounce back. As you say, there wasn't much between the two games, so no, I'm really pleased.
What about that goal? You have to talk about that.
I know. Thank going into centre mid, I was kind of like, because I usually do play centre back, but going up, and then I did have the chance. I was like, I need to place this in one of these corners, and then I just did it, so I was delighted.
Do you have to switch positions much, or do you kind of get to keep your own position?
No, not that often. We have had a good few new players coming in that are defence, what I usually would be playing, so it's good that I can push up. I originally did play centre mid, so now that we've got more defenders in, I can push back up, and yeah, I really enjoy it.
And Ebony, the All Ireland, as I mentioned, you're the only team from Northern Ireland still left in it. Wexford next. What do you know about them?
Not a lot, to be honest. They're a team we've obviously never played before. Well, I've never played since I've joined Linfield. But that's the thing about the All-Ireland competition. You're playing against different clubs from all over the country and teams that we're not used to playing in the league, in our own league. So it'll be a different challenge. But we'll do our research and everything before the match and get to know them more and their playing style before we play them. Is
it nice playing different teams that you wouldn't normally play in the league?
Yeah, it is. It's a nice change because our league's quite small as well, and it feels like you're kind of playing with so many different competitions as well. Maybe you might get drawn against the same teams in the league, also in the cup matches. So it feels like you're kind of playing the same teams maybe every couple of weeks. So it is a nice change, yeah, and a nice challenge to get to play different teams.
And how much confidence will that give you going into the league? Because obviously you're the last team standing as such from Northern Ireland.
Yeah, I know. It's that was obviously we want to do as best as we can in all of our competitions, but we were in a very tough group, against Peamount and Bohemians and Lisburn Ladies as well. So, and Peamount were the champions of the League of Ireland last year, so we got two really good results against them and put us in a good position to play against Lisburn then the last group game. But yeah, we're full of confidence now going into the next round, and hopefully we get another good result against Wexford.
Maybe we should address the elephant in the room about these cup competitions that you guys will play each other. So.
Oh yeah.
So just no fighting, you have to.
Yeah. Of course not.
What do you feel about going into that game? Obviously Ballymena are pushing to go up to the Premiership again. They know what it's like to play Premiership teams.
Yeah, playing Ballymena will be another new challenge. Obviously last year whenever they were in the Premiership we played them twice, but they're a good side. They've got great players, and we'll obviously do our preparation before that as well. Hopefully get a good result.
Give you ears for that bit. And Chelsea, obviously a great game to get, a tough game to get, but is that the kind of opponent you want as a team pushing to go back up to the Premiership?
Yeah, absolutely. Knowing whenever that round was getting drawn, we knew we were going to get a team in the Premiership because it was coming into the quarter-final, and I was actually really buzzing for it. It'll be a good challenge for us now, just because we do want to push back up. It'll give us something to push towards.
How difficult is it as a team looking to push up into the Premiership to kind of balance all the cup competitions as well?
Yeah, I know. There's a lot, especially with the Super Cups that we're in then as well. So there's a lot of different teams that we're playing week in, week out.
And speaking of that Super Cup, you got Sion in round 3, somebody you know very well.
Yeah, we played Sion at the start of the season. We had a good result against them. We obviously still have to play them again in the league anyway, but it's a good challenge for us because they give us a good competition and a good game.
They might be a young team this year, but they certainly give it everything to 90 minutes.
They're fast. They're really fast. They're young, they're fast, and they go in for every single tackle.
And Ebony, what would Linfield's goals be for this season? We're talking with Ballymena there, just pushing to go up. Are you guys pushing to get to the top of the table?
Yeah, well, obviously last year we didn't really have a good end of the season. I think we finished in 5th place overall, so that we were disappointed with that. Obviously we want to be finishing higher in the table, but yeah, we'd probably want to be jumping a few places this year and really challenging like the teams like Cliftonville and Glentoran for the top spot.
You mentioned there the guys ahead of you. How tough is it to kind of break into that top 4?
Yeah, you know, our league's like quite small and we're playing against very strong sides, so every match really counts, and whenever we come up against the likes of Glentoran and Cliftonville and Crusaders, we can't be dropping silly points. You know, we have to give it our all and try and gather as many points as we can from them.
It's a bit like every league, I think, in the NIWFA as well, but kind of anybody can beat anybody in the Premiership. You never know result really.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like last season we had an upset. I think it was our second last game of the season or towards the end of the season against Mid Ulster. You know, we ended up drawing 2 each, which was disappointing, but that just shows you like you can't let your heads drop, or you just need to keep going and stay positive, because any team can really beat anyone and you have to give 100% every game.
And unfortunately Ballymena dropped down last year, but Lisbon Rangers have come up and they're proven to be a difficult side at the minute.
Yeah, no, they're a very strong side. You know, they've come up through the ranks from the very bottom to the very top now underneath Ali Dixon, who's a great manager, and they've great players, and it will be like definitely a challenge for us whenever we come up against them.
We're going to take a short break here in the studio and head over to Colin as he talks us through Northern Ireland's recent game with Portugal. Over to you, Colin.
The Northern Ireland women's national team's hopes of causing an upset in their latest Women's Euro 2025 qualifying game against Portugal came crashing down last Friday night as, despite a hard-working performance, they were easily brushed aside by their hosts in the era. It did, however, take Portugal a while to break down a resolute and at times fortuitous Northern Ireland defence, and indeed it was 25 minutes into the game before the breakthrough came. An initial free kick from distance by Joanna Marshall was parried by Jackie Burns in the Northern Ireland net, but as the players rushed in to chase up the loose ball, Rebecca McKenna was adjudged to have bundled over Lucia Alves in the box, and a penalty was awarded to the hosts, McKenna picking up a yellow card in the process. Carol Costa took the spot kick, making no mistake as she drilled the ball into the bottom corner of the Northern Ireland net, giving Burns no chance. After this, Portugal dominated the game, and although Northern Ireland had a reasonable spell ahead of the half-time break, a second goal shortly after the restart from Lucia Alves on 48 minutes effectively ended any hopes of a fight-back. After this, it was one-way traffic for the remainder of the game, and it was no surprise when Catarina Armado added a third in 83 minutes, with a second strike from Alves putting the icing on the Portuguese cake on 95 minutes. At the time of recording this insert, a second game against Portugal is next on the Northern Ireland women's calendar, but this time at home, in a game to be played at Mourneview Park, Lurgan, on Tuesday the 4th of June. Here's hoping the girls can get back to winning ways in this one.
Thank you, Colin, for that. Ebony, it's great to see Northern Ireland test themselves against teams like Portugal.
Yeah, obviously Portugal are going to be a great side and they're going to be a tough opposition, but obviously you want to be playing against the best of the best, and if they're going to be able to qualify for the tournament, you're going to have to be competing well against these teams, so hopefully they get a good result in the second fixture.
You've had Northern Ireland experience yourself at under 19 level. What was that been like for you?
Yeah, it was really good. I really enjoyed it. We played obviously some great teams as well. I remember coming up and playing against Germany. Obviously we might not have gotten great results, but it was a great experience. I got to travel different countries, and countries that I probably never would have visited before, like Cyprus and Norway and stuff, so it was great. I really enjoyed it, yeah.
And a lot of your teammates from that under 19 squad have broken into that senior squad. Is that something that you would like to do?
Yeah, possibly. Like if the chance came along, yeah, it would be hard to turn down. Obviously playing for your country is like a great honour. But I'm just going to keep enjoying my football at the level I'm at now and keep working hard, and if that comes along, you know, that'll be an added bonus.
Chelsea, back to last year, I know it wasn't the ideal year for Ballymena, but how much resilience does it build inside your squad to kind of have that motivation to go back up this year?
Yeah, 100%. It's the same as what you said before. Like, every game counts. We can't be dropping points now.
And Ebony, are you having a wee nosy to see who's kind of doing well in the Championship, who you might be playing against if you come back after your Masters?
Yeah, of course. You know, I love watching football, so I'll watch any teams playing. But yeah, as you said, it's going to be tight, and it could be really anyone who gets promoted. But yeah, it's important to keep an eye on kind of everything that's going on.
And because you're from Derry, kind of Derry City games are handy. Do you Foyle Bells would kind of be your local teams if you're not playing?
Yeah, well, there's a lot of football teams around Derry, so if I'm at home at the weekends or anything and there's any matches going on, I'll obviously go watch them. Like a couple of weeks ago, I went to watch Derry City play against Lisburn Rangers in a game. But yeah, if we're ever off, I like to go watch games that are close to home.
You're looking at your opponents for an upcoming game.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, getting them on up. Yep.
And have you seen an increase in girls playing football up in Derry?
Yeah, no, there definitely has been. Me and my wee two sisters actually coached a local team in Derry, and we started off in 2021. I think there was 5 or 6 girls, and now we've gone up to like almost 60 girls within the space of a few years. And it's all to do with like publicity, you know, like more TV coverage and everything of women's football. So it's great to see a lot of numbers.
And a new deal for the Premiership with DAZN. It's great to see it getting even more publication now.
Yeah, exactly. It's really important because all the men get all this coverage, so the women should as well. Do you know what I mean? It's really important for young girls to be able to look up to idols and be able to watch women playing football. Yeah.
Does the kind of DAZN deal and kind of the Premiership getting even more coverage, thankfully, give you even more motivation? I'm just going to keep talking about this motivation, get me really pumped. But you must want a bit of that yourself. You must want to be on TV. You must want to get that kind of glitz and glamour of it.
No, absolutely. Because seeing the Premiership having like them more improvements now, like it gives us motivation. Like we want that as well. Like we want to go up and we want to have all of it too. Definitely, as you say, like the women's should be having all that coverage.
And Ballymena, they have a great youth academy there as well. You must have seen an increase in girls playing football too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like I went down to the wee junior team there the other week, and I couldn't believe how many wee kids were playing now. It's unbelievable. It's great to see though.
We're all kind of, I think, a similar age, and it's kind of, even when we were younger, I know we're still young, but like there's so much of a change. Like every kind of wee girl seems to be playing football now, and that wasn't really a thing when we were kids.
No, I agree. Like my wee sister wasn't interested at all, and now all of a sudden she wants to play football. You know, so it's good to see.
You have no motivation in that, no. It's not because of you.
No, she didn't even want to come and watch me play, and then now all of a sudden she wants to play. I'm like, where's this came from?
Everyone else playing.
Yeah, not even me.
And what's it like for you playing with your sisters? Is that kind of difficult, or is it easier?
I love it, to be honest. Yeah, it gives me extra motivation. You know, like if I'm ever find it difficult to motivate myself to go train or anything. I know I have my 2 wee sisters there. Like we do everything together really. We travel up and down to training, to matches. We train together. So yeah, it's extra motivation and I love it.
Would they be giving you like tips and tricks and being like, yeah, you do that better?
They do, yeah. And I do it with them as well. You know, we constantly push each other to be better. So yeah, it definitely does help. And I think maybe if I didn't have 2 sisters, I wouldn't maybe have gotten to the level that I'm playing at now, and vice versa. We really do push each other, and we're each other's biggest fans. Yeah.
You're obviously leaving to go to America at the end of July, but you'll be watching probably your sister still play, hopefully for Linfield.
No, of course, I'll still be supporting Linfield from across the water. Yeah.
And for those who may not know, you're heading over to Marshall University to do business studies masters. It's so great that you got that opportunity.
Yeah, I know. I'm really grateful for it, and it just came along at the right time. This agency just messaged me on Instagram, SSUSA, and asked me if I was interested in going to America, because I never really knew like how it worked or how I knew I always wanted to do it, but I didn't know how to go about it. So it just came along at the right time, and I just jumped at the opportunity. I couldn't let it pass by.
You're not only the only person from Northern Ireland, but you're the only person from Ireland. Do you be teaching them all the slang from here?
I know, they'll probably find it difficult to understand my Derry accent, but yeah.
You'll be like getting them Linfield shirts and being like, this
I will.
is the team you're supposed to support.
Yeah, you have to support this team, yeah.
And you'll have plenty of opportunities to play football whenever you're over there and grow further and come back as an even better player, I'm sure.
Yeah, exactly. It's a completely different world over there, really. Like, in the build-up, like to me deciding where I was going, I was talking to a lot of different coaches and just hearing everyone talk about the experience, it sounds amazing, and hopefully I really enjoy it.
And what do you know about their college football team?
They're Division 1, so the highest level, which I always wanted to play. Just it's a dream come true, really. And we're in it's a conference called the Sun Belt Conference, so we'll be playing colleges like in Texas, Alabama, Louisiana, and it's crazy because you have to fly. Like if you have an away game, you have to fly to a different state to play it, which is mad.
Is that like going from Derry to Belfast?
No, exactly.
Yeah.
That's the furthest we really have to travel. Apart from like all island games, you might have to travel to like Dublin or somewhere. But like taking a plane to a match is crazy, but it's so exciting. Yeah.
You're like, thankfully you don't have to do that. Ballymena to America is not handy, like. We're going to take another short break here in the studio. It's not your goal though, we're going to be seeing. I thought it might be a Ballymena game, but we're going to see highlights from Ballyclare versus Camlough.
Yeah, it was a tough one, Colin. We probably struggled a bit in the first half. Ballyclare came out guns blazing, good football inside. Took us a while to settle in. Obviously the girls were travelling straight from work up the roadway an hour, so took us a while to settle in, but I think we came into ourselves the second half there.
I feel like we worked hard the first half. Things were sort of going our way. We were trying to keep possession, but then unfortunately things sort of fell apart in the second half. I'll give it to Camlough though. They fought till the very end, and that's something that we needed to do and just obviously didn't. So,
but this team doesn't give up. A lot of young girls in our team still learning, but they're to fight to the end. So credit to them. And again, Ballyclare fought to the end even with 10 men. So yeah, it was a good match.
It's disappointing. Mistakes are made, but just gonna have to get over that and try to prove a point next week and come out and win the game.
As ever, it's great to see the NIWFA Championship highlights, and I'm sure we will catch up with them again soon. Ebony, back to you. How are you going to cope over in America when you can't go over and see your favourite team, United, play?
I know, I don't know. Well, that probably won't be my biggest worry, but
because they're so bad, is that what you mean?
Not exactly. I'll find somewhere to be able to watch all the matches from America, yeah.
And you were over at that FA Cup game. What was that experience like at Wembley?
Oh, it was class, yeah. Wembley's such an amazing stadium, and to top it all off, United won, so it was really good. Like last year we went to watch them play Chelsea in the FA Cup final and they got beat 1-0. So it was still a great experience, but obviously they didn't get the results. But this year, yeah, it was really good.
What's it like seeing those girls obviously lift that trophy? That kind of must push you on and want to lift trophies whenever you're over in America and then when you come back home too?
Yeah, obviously that's why we all play football. We want to be winning games and lifting trophies. So hopefully this season at Linfield, I might not be here for the whole season, but hopefully I can watch my teammates lift some trophies when I'm in America.
If they do win a trophy, you better get your request and they get a wee cardboard cutout of you.
Yeah, I'll still be there in spirit. Yeah.
Are you in FaceTime on the trophy?
Yeah.
Well,
I'll definitely be on FaceTime. I'll be like, Sienna, here, bring me quick.
And Chelsea, you don't really get much of a break from sport either. Your PT is your job.
Yeah, I know. Feels like I'm never out of the sport industry. No, I love it though. Like, it doesn't feel like a job. It's more of a hobby. But then being in the gym and football is different, so it's good that way. A bit of a change now and then.
Do you give the girls a training, be like, do an extra lap please, some more push-ups, you can do more than that?
Yeah, I kind of do push them a bit much, but I don't know, I think they hate me for it sometimes.
And you've done a bit of work with the reserves team as well in terms of strength and conditioning.
Yeah, I had them in the gym over pre-season and they said it's really helped them so far in the season, like they do feel stronger, so it means a lot to me to hear that as well, so it's nice. And
when you're not playing and there's no games, do you tend to go to some of the Premiership games?
Yeah, well, whenever I am free, yeah, I would.
If you're ever free.
It's a hard schedule, but yes, whenever I am free, I do. I'd like to go up and watch them.
And it's a really tough league. Obviously, Ebony won't be in it for most of it, but it's hard to know who's going to win it.
Oh, absolutely. Like, you've got no idea at the minute.
And Ebony, I know you're going to be biased towards Linfield, and you're going to, along with Linfield, who's going to be pushing for that title in that Premiership this year?
Yeah, well, as you said, it's hard to know, but obviously Cliftonville and Glentoran have been taking up the top two spots the past few years, so I think they definitely will be up around there. And Crusaders are obviously really strong as well. But yeah, it could be anyone really. It'll be a tight season every year. It gets harder and harder. So yeah, it'll be good to see.
Go on, you have to give Linfield your mention in this top as well. You didn't mention you guys. Ryan will be like, no.
Oh, well, obviously I thought that was a given. Obviously Linfield is number one.
It's because you're not here. You're like, no. They're already at the top of contention now.
No, definitely Linfield will be. Yeah, underneath the new manager, I think we'll definitely. That's our aim. Pushing for the top two spots definitely.
And Chelsea, what would Ballymena's goals be this year, just to go up?
Absolutely. What a lift trophies. Like last season, we didn't lift nothing. We came down. It was a bad end to the season. Like we've got the League Cup, Super Cup. Like hopefully win something. And if we don't, then absolutely win the league.
And even, I know it wasn't a great start to the season for you because you got suspended, but you were still at the games and I could hear you from across.
I know, everyone said that. You just heard me screaming. I know one of the goals, I heard my voice. I was like, oh my goodness, Chelsea. Like, I hope I'm not like that on the pitch.
But it's really evident, though, with that passion that Ballymena are really through and through and they're kind of part of you as well.
Oh, no, absolutely. Like, I just wanted to run on the pitch when we scored, but I couldn't. I was like, I just want to go over and celebrate with them.
So to lift that trophy, I'm sure, or any trophy would mean so much to you as well as Ballymena.
No, absolutely. Really, really would.
And are all your family kind of Ballymena fans too? Would they be there cheering you on?
Yeah, no, they would be. My mum doesn't know that much about football, but she still supports me, so yeah.
Your sister doesn't, evidently.
No. She was one of the mascots. She would walk out with me a few times, but I'd have to nearly bribe her to do that. She's just 8 there not long ago, but no, that was a few years ago. She was about 5 or 6, so it took a lot of bribing.
And what about your personal goals for the season? Hopefully not having to bribe your sister anymore, maybe that?
No, they do enjoy, they come, and then if they don't make it, like my wee brother Leo, he's really into it now, and he's like, last night, well, whenever I scored the other night, he was coming into me and like, oh, how did you score? What was it? Was it a header? Was it a volley? I was like, okay, you know, they're really into it.
I'm sure you were happy to give every single detail like you did with me earlier.
Yeah.
Want to talk about it again?
No, I'll leave it.
And Ebony, what about your family? Are they hoping to get over and see you in America play?
Possibly, yeah. Well, I just booked my flights there last week, I think, so...
Didn't leave it last minute or anything?
No, definitely not. That's just me, to be honest. Everything's last minute. But yeah, it would be lovely to see my family over there. Like, I'm obviously a big home bird and I'll miss them a lot, so hopefully they'll, if I'm not home as much, hopefully they'll be able to come over and watch a few games of mine as well, yeah.
And would your sisters be able to go over too, or is it kind of too tight with the Linfield schedule in there?
Possibly, I don't know. Maybe if they, well, need to look at the schedules and see when they have time off. Obviously, like, flights are really expensive and it's far away as well. It's not like just flying over to England, so it'll have to be like planned well in advance. But hopefully, yeah, I get to see them over there.
Are you kind of hoping it? I know one of your sisters, the youngest one, she's just signed a new contract, hasn't she? Yeah. So you're kind of hoping that she kind of breaks into that senior squad kind of when you're not there, from Leckey to Leckey. Yeah.
I know. Well, obviously, I would have liked to see all three of us playing in the senior team, but Sahara's still young. Like, I played with Sienna for years. Like, we're closer in age, but Sahara, she's just turned 18, so she's still young, still breaking her way into the senior team. But hopefully she will whenever I'm in America, and I'll be able to come back and we'll all be playing together.
And what would your personal goals of the year be? I know it's a bit harder for you to answer than Chelsea.
Well, I'm still here for a few good games, like another few weeks, so I like to score as many goals as possible, you know, pick up as many points as possible and have as much of an impact as possible before I go away to America, yeah.
Might be a little bit difficult for you to be competing for an amount of goals for the year, the top goals for the year, with only a couple of weeks left.
Yeah, I know. I'll have to be scoring some amount of goals in the first few games to be able to win that, but yeah, I'd like to play a small part, to be honest, before I leave, yeah.
Well, I wish you the best of luck over in America.
Thanks
and good luck for those games that you have before you go. And Chelsea, good luck with Ballymena this season. I'm excited to see how you guys get on.
Thank you so much. I'm sure we'll see you there.
Yeah, I'll hear you if I don't see you. That's it for this episode of the Northern Ireland Women's Football Show. As ever, thank you so much for watching. But for now, it's goodbye from me.